All right, everybody. I want to thank you very much for joining me today on this conference call. Um, Today's going to be a fun and I hope very, very useful training. Not because you're going to hear me speaking, but because I believe it will be very useful and very practical on a number of levels. So, the topic for today is matching bonus and smart links. So, matching bonus is a huge part of the compensation plan. In fact, it's probably the largest of any of the bonuses out there, but we'll get there in a minute. Smart Links is a brand new tool that's part of RX 2.0 that everybody should be using. And in fact, I'm going to challenge everyone who's on the call today to actually create a smart link real time during this presentation so that you can get used to it, be familiar with it, and actually make it work for you. The whole reason we put these tools and resources and things together is to make your business easier. And when it's easier, it's more lucrative. When it's more lucrative, you win, your team wins, RX wins, and we are slowly changing the world, disruptive by design, making a big difference every single day. So let's jump right into it. First off, I'm going to challenge everybody to go to your back office, because with the launch of the brand new Boss, okay, in your back office is now a new series of tools. If you click on My Business, you'll see under training, it says Boss. That's the business orientation system. And in there is an entire library of brand new online cutting edge videos and information that will help everybody who's new to RX, or even who's been in RX for a long time, get to know better the company, the products, and in this case, the compensation plan. So while we're going to have a great time learning about matching bonus, I would also strongly recommend using these videos to learn specifically how does the matching bonus work, and also this is a great resource to share with your new members, your prospects even, to understand the compensation plan. So tonight will be a little more in depth, but hey, for a great overview that you can send or review at any time, it's in your back office. It's ready and you will be able to share that, and I promise you it looks good, it feels good, it's a good time. So that being said, let's do a quick review like we always do. Because as we all know, the compensation plan is very heavily tied into business levels. As you'll recall, you activate your business in RX by generating at least 200 points. Now, you can buy those products yourself. Strongly recommend, so you have an authentic story that you can sell and share with your friends with, right? But it's not required. You could service a customer and have that sell count as well, whether it was preferred customer or your own retail customer. And then, of course, the more sales you can generate in your first 4 weeks, the higher your business level. And each of those business levels brings a lifetime of perks and benefits that I call business enhancements. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because one of these very, very, very powerful business enhancements is called gold, right? Gold is a status, and it's directly connected to the matching bonus. And you're going to learn about this in a minute. And why that's important is you can see here on this chart clearly, ultimate is the obvious goal that every serious business builder should have. When you achieve ultimate, not only does it automatically unlock gold for you, which gives you a lifetime of matching bonus, and you're going to see that in a minute, it also gives you a whole host of other benefits that are no-brainers. This should be everyone's goal, but you know what? We understand that it's a process. It's not the end of the world if you don't hit ultimate. In fact, if you're just getting in and it takes you to business level or the elite level, I promise you these are all very, very great places to start your business. It just so happens ultimate is a goal that I would hope everyone strives for, and you're going to find out why. Now, as we always do, a quick recap of the 3 different types of money that you can earn with RX. There's the upfront pay. Okay, there's residual pay, which means it's teams that are helping bring you revenue and you get paid. I like to call upfront kind of like getting paid like a job, a job. You come to work and show up, they give you a wage. You don't show up, you don't get a wage. It's exchanging time for money. Now, the team lead bonus is a huge part of the ARC's compensation plan, and that takes care of the upfront money, as does some retail incentives and the wholesale retail price differentiation. Okay, we're not here to talk about that though. Residual income, that's the base commissions. That's getting paid like a boss because you have teams of people that work with you, and as you generate and collaborate revenue together, your team cells actually generate revenue for you. That's what we call base commissions. And the bonuses, I like to say, that's like getting paid like a C-level executive, because the more you can perform and the better you do, the bonuses can tend to range all the way to the extravagant, to say the least. And matching bonus actually is the largest of any of the bonuses potentially that we have at ARCS. It can pay more than any other bonus. So that being said, let's talk about what matching bonus is. Okay, it's based on the base commissions of the people in your teams. So specifically, we're going to take a look at it. You get paid, and the whole idea of matching bonus, you'll see there, number 7, you get paid for helping your sales teams get paid. It's that simple. People you brought into the business, do you help them get a paycheck? If you do, you're going to get matching bonus. The people they bring in, do you help them also get a paycheck? Congratulations, there's more matching bonus coming your way. It's that simple. Now there's details, but again, the whole high level is you're going to get paid for helping other people get paid. So learn how to help others succeed. And you know what? It can be very, very lucrative. So specifically, here's how it works. You've got a team of people. Let's say that you brought in 2 people and they brought in 1 person each, and they brought 1 person each, and they brought 1 person, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, we call these generations. Kind of like you have your kids, your grandkids, your great-kids, your great-great-great-great-grandkids, and it goes down from one generation to the next. Your first generation, you're going to earn a percentage of all of the base commissions you helped them earn. Right? These are like your kids. You want them to grow up, get an education, go conquer the world, and be bajillionaires. And if you do, you know what? Chances are your retirement will look pretty nice. Same concept. In ARCS, you help them get a paycheck, and you're going to get a percentage of everything they earn. Now, this percentage is not taking away from what they otherwise should get. This is in addition to everything that they are earning. And they, just like you, can get a percentage of everything they help their first generation earn. And in fact, it goes all the way down to 7 generations. Another way put, every dollar you make in base commissions, there are 7 people who stand to benefit from the money you make. Now, you could view this as a glass half empty and say, wait a second, all these people are earning off of the hard work that I'm doing. But let's turn that around a little bit. That means there's 7 people who will always be motivated for the lifetime of your career to help you, encourage you, inspire you, serve you, pick you up when times are tough, and then also to challenge you when you're taking it a little too easy, to take it to the next level, because the more that they can help you earn, the more that they earn themselves. Well, guess what? It's a two-way street. Same thing for you. The more that you can help your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and 7 generations to earn a paycheck, to successfully succeed in their ARCS business, the more that you are going to enjoy the matching bonus. And I'm telling you, here's why this bonus is so amazing. It only takes 1 or 2 quality leaders to really grow their business for you to hit the jackpot. And I know that sounds a little bit take the money and run type of an attitude. I don't intend it that way. What I do intend it is, everyone worries I have to build 10 lines of sales teams before I can even ever get paid, because that's what most companies require. If you don't personally sponsor 10 people who have personally sponsored 8, who have personally sponsored 6, who have personally sponsored 4, there's a good chance you won't get what you deserve coming to you. At ARCS, that's not the case. Some of our biggest incomers in the world, okay, have maybe 1 or 2 teams but their incomes are so significant because they brought in Founders Club members. You know, we're talking people who have generated markets out of nothing. Okay. With all due respect, as a company, we believe that there's incredible value to finding the right person at the right time. And we want to pay and reward them handsomely for it. So here's the specifics. Here's how matching bonus works. On the chart on the left, you can see clearly the qualification to earn a given generation is in the middle column, and the percentage of base commissions that you can earn is that percentage on the right. So if I sponsored one person and I have achieved gold status, and I'll talk about this in just 1 minute, then I will receive 15% of all the base commissions that I help this individual earn for their entire RX career. They earn $100, I get 15. They earn $1 million, I get 150,000. It's that simple. Guess what? The people they bring in, I am also entitled to 10%. So I brought in one person. They bring in 100 people. Guess what? I get 10% of those 100 people and the checks that they earn. You're like, wait a second, you didn't bring that person? Correct, I didn't bring that person in. They're my grandkids. I had nothing to do, or maybe I did have something to do with bringing them in. Either way, 10% is what I'm entitled to as long as I'm gold. The third generation, the people that I brought in, they bring in people and they bring in people. That is my third generation. And you can see this goes down and down and down and down and down. Well, let's run some very simple numbers. If I find 2 and I help those people find 2 and they help their people find 2, well, 1 becomes 2, becomes 4, becomes 8, becomes 16, becomes 32, becomes 64, becomes 128, becomes 256, becomes 512, becomes 1024. And you can see how it duplicates over time, but that's just the number of people per generation. You add all that up and those numbers duplicate and grow very quickly. Well, what if I can duplicate by 4? So 1 becomes 4, becomes 16, becomes 64, 256, 1024, 490, 4096, 16,000, etc. You add all that up together and see what I've got, 33,000 people. Now, of course, we know that that takes a lot of consistent time and consistent effort to be able to get teams of that size. But when we're talking 7 generations, it's not 7 people, it's not 70 people, it's not 700 people. It's probably closer to 70,000, but it's unlimited because I can have an unlimited number of people that I personally bring in. So to that end, that's why there's no limits or no caps to matching bonus. Now, you can see here that the requirements to qualify for matching bonus, the first 3 generations are gold, okay? The next 2 generations, I apologize, it says 500 pounds. That actually is 500 US dollars in base commissions. If I have that in a given week, then I qualify for my 4th generation, which is also 5%. If I have $1,000 in base commissions, I will qualify for my 5th generation. When I optimize one income position, that means that I have 13,334 total points on 2 or more lines in a given income position, then I'll qualify my 6th, and 2 optimized income positions qualifies me for my 7th. Okay, that's how it happens, but let me just kind of break that down. It's almost impossible to have 4 generations of downline partners that are earning base commissions. It's almost impossible for me to not have 500 US dollars in base commissions unless I just built one line, in which we would argue, well, you have your 3 generations forever, go build a line and get some base commissions yourself, right? We're trying to build good behavior and good habits, and for you to continue to grow your paycheck, you want to at least have 2 lines that you're working with, 2 teams that you're helping support. So that's the whole intent behind that. Now, going back to gold, if you recall, a rep can become gold by selling 200 points or more to 4 customers or members in their first 8 weeks. You want to take a shortcut, achieve ultimate status, right? And you will automatically qualify for gold. That is a beautiful thing, right? Sure, you can go get 4 customers. I would strongly recommend it for the sake of duplication. However, hitting ultimate is the same thing. So let's go through a very simple example, right? In my first generation, I've got 2 people earn their paychecks. And here's the cool part. I can use pounds, I can use euro, I can use dollars, I can use yen, RMB. It doesn't matter the dollar amount or the currency that's used because the percentages are based on their base commissions, which by default are the local currency. So in this example, this is not a mistake. I'm using pounds to show exactly what they would get. If the 2 people that are in my first generation earned 5,000 pounds, I'm entitled to 15% of that, or 750 pounds. Second generation, a total of 3,000 pounds at 10% is 300 pounds for me in matching bonus. And let's assume I was qualified for all 7 generations, okay? You can see here how the money adds up. And this is a very conservative example of me getting an extra 1,500 pounds in a given week. Well, that's how the calculations work. And it's really, really fun to watch that come every single week, okay? Remember, there's no limits. You help people earn a paycheck. That's all it is. But there's one last point that I want to bring up that maybe we don't think about, but that you should absolutely count your lucky stars that we do this as a subtle thing. It's called auto compression. While it's fairly standard for newer companies, it was pretty novel when we actually started implementing it. Auto compression makes sure that you get the highest matching bonus check you possibly can. Okay, so if you ever want to brag to people and sound really smart about the compensation plan, this is one little subtlety that just goes to show the culture of how we view the compensation plan. We don't want to have a bunch of strings attached that behind the scenes we're holding things back. Conversely, we want to give as much as possible and never have a bait and switch or a situation where you feel like the company's not being integrity with what we have said we will do. So here's how auto compression works. Let's assume that I have this first rep who's my first generation, my second generation, third generation, etc. And you can see the amount of base commission they earned this week. Okay, so the first generation is 1,000 pounds, second is 500, etc. So I'm there on the left. My base commissions this week were 300 pounds. And by the way, I'm gold status, so I'm qualified for 3 generations of matching bonus. Well, let's go through these one generation at a time and say, am I going to get matching bonus on this individual? For number 1, I'm gold, so the first 3 generations, we absolutely know for sure. I'm going to get 15% of that 1,000 pounds. I'm going to get 10% of that 500 pounds. And my third generation, they didn't earn a paycheck. So unfortunately, I get 5% of 0, which is 0. And then the other 4 generations, unfortunately, I'm not qualified to earn. So really, I should set my sights on increasing my base commissions so that I can qualify for additional generations. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You see that guy in the tie who's just sitting there doing nothing, and he's occupying a generation of mine. And look at that amazing worker who just earned $10,000 in base commissions. I'm going to look at my paycheck, pull out my hair, and then scheme of different ways to kick out that guy in the middle, right? Well, guys, don't sweat it. Don't worry. There's no need to go consider any sorts of heinous crimes to get rid of Mr. Man in the middle who's wasting my third generation, right? Here's why. Let's assume that he didn't get a paycheck because he wasn't active. Well, auto compression says, if that person's not active, we're never going to have that occupy a generation. So Miss 10,000 pounds is actually still going to count as my third generation. Basically, we're going to compress or skip Mr. 0 in the middle right? And he won't occupy a position for me. And I'm going to now include those two people as my third generation, of which I get 5% of. So in this case, I got 500 pounds from my third generation. Life is great. It's fair. You should love us because we love you. And you can see how we made those generations fair. Okay? Well, let's go through another scenario. Let's say that Mr. Zero Paycheck is in fact active. Okay? He's not really building the business, but he continues to consume the products over time and he's active. Uh-oh, now what do you do? Well, you remember my status is gold, right? But what about the status of the other people? So let's go through, and here's an example. Let's say that my first generation is gold, second generation is gold, Mr. 0 pounds in the middle. Let's say he's not gold, and then 10,000, she's gold, 5,000 is gold, and 1,000 is gold, as you can see on the screen. In this scenario, I'm going to ask the question, what happens to my second generation, that gal who earned 500 pounds? Well, if she's gold, she's qualified for 3 generations of matching bonus too, right? Well, does she earn matching bonus? What percentage does she earn on Mr. Zero? Well, we would all say he is her first generation, so she's going to get 15%. Well, 15% of zero is nothing. We just learned if he's not active, he doesn't count. But let's say that he is active. So she gets 15% of zero and then 10% of 10,000. But I'm going to ask the question, if she only got 10% of Miss 10,000, who got 15% of Miss 10,000? Because Mr. Zero is not gold. He's not qualified to get 15%. So in this case, nobody earned 15% on Miss 10,000, right? Well, look at what you're seeing on the screen. I've actually spilled the beans. To be fair, auto compression basically says 1 generation is the distance between you and the next gold. So even if Mr. Zero Paycheck is active, if he is not gold, he's not qualified to earn matching bonus. And because he's not qualified to earn matching bonus, he will not occupy a generation. So what you see here is my first generation is Mr. 1,000 pounds. Second generation, Miss 500 pounds. Third generation are these 2 individuals. And it goes until I get the next gold. Otherwise stated, it's from me to the next gold that counts a generation, and that follows. So let's go another example. Let's say my base commission was 500. Well, now you know that I'm qualified, right? Because it's 500 US dollars to qualify for that, for the 4th generation. So now you can see how the generations are divided. It's the same as before. Mr. Zero doesn't take an actual generation, but he's grouped into the 3rd generation. And now I'm qualified for Miss 5,000 pounds as my 4th generation that I'll get 5% of, okay? If I had base commissions of 1,000 US dollars, right, and clearly with a British pound that would be more than enough, then I would actually qualify for 5 generations. And you can see I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, 3 is a little wider. If I had optimized 2 reentries and Mr. Zero was gold, right? So I have 7 golds in my downline. Once I've optimized 2 reentries, it doesn't matter. I will qualify for 7 generations every single time. To show the extreme, let's say that in my entire stretch of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 generations, only the last person was gold. Everybody in the middle was just nothing. They're not earning matching bonus. Well, to be fair, the company will basically group all of them into my first generation, from whom I will then earn 15% of their total base commissions. So that's how auto compression works. And basically it ensures that no generation goes missed or skipped out. When we say we pay 15%, 10%, 5% for a total of 50, among 7 generations, we actually pay. And if we can't pay you, we'll pay your upline. If we can't pay your upline, we'll go all the way to Tim Sells if we have to find someone who deserves and should be getting that first, second, third, fourth, fifth generation, etc. So we're proactively trying to find ways to get people paid. What does that tell you about ARX and our integrity? It should tell you a lot, right? Now, I want to share something that just shows the power of the matching bonus. Okay, so I hope you don't mind me pulling this up, but I think it is absolutely worth the time. I've got a calendar here that shows commissions. You've seen me use this before. Let me put it into English, and I will go to British pound. There we go. My assumption is here that I'm basically going to duplicate, right? I think it's fairly reasonable to assume that I can find one ultimate per month. And I'm going to find one ultimate per month for 6 months. And the people that I bring in, they're going to find one ultimate every single month that they're in the business as well. So month 1, I find my first. Month 2, I find my second, right? In month 2, the first person I found in month 1 also finds their first. You can see how that duplication kind of works. And over time, my team grows. After 6 months of building the business, okay, I would have 63 people on my team. Now down below is a graph, and each of the different bonuses are represented by a different colored bar within the bar graph, right? The very bottom, that orange base, that's my team lead bonus, and this is in form of British pounds. So if I sponsored a new ultimate, I would end up getting 283.5 pounds, okay? Well, I want you to focus specifically on the yellow segment. And here's why. That's matching bonus. So you can see as my team is small, I only have 63 people. I'm actually very profitable, and I'm earning money every single month, right? My annual earning pace is 36,000 pounds, nothing to be crazy happy about. But as I continue to grow, right now I've got 127 people. This continues to grow as I duplicate. Watch what happens with matching bonus, that yellow box, as I go month to month to month to month, and my team grows and duplicates. And you can see clearly over time, there are no limits to matching bonus, and that will absolutely become the largest piece of commissions that I will start to earn. In this case, you can see I've got a team that has 4,000 people, and the matching bonus, that yellow portion, makes up the bulk of what I earn. So this is just a little calculator that I put together to actually show how our commissions work, okay? And how each different bonus can actually grow your business. I really hope everybody takes the chance to understand matching bonus, because it's powerful. And when you realize that that was the bonus that got Tim Sells to get excited about the business, that was the bonus to get most of our other Founders Club members excited about the business, because they realized all it takes is finding one amazing person, and I've got a chance to make a fortune. And that, my friends, is the matching bonus. Now I'm going to go back to the presentation for the second half, and I want to talk about Smart Links. It is the brand new piece of ARX 2.0. And you're like, well, what does this have to do with matching bonus? And I would argue it has everything to do with matching bonus. Why? We all know the experience. Here is a beautiful piece of social media legendary. Okay, you can see there's 9,000 views, and this is our good friend Karina Bentley demonstrating the power of the Purity water bottle. Unless you think she's alone in this, let's just say that I had to go through a similar gauntlet when we first launched the first version of the water bottle 5 years ago. So I've been there, done that. But this is the type of thing that shows how our products are different. They're amazing. They're awesome. People see it. They respond to this. 9,000 views. So I share this video with my friend. I show them this on Facebook. They get excited. I then share them the water bottle, and I want to close them, or you want to close me, right? Let me ask you the question. What comes between the excitement of that new product, seeing such an amazing result on Facebook, right? Literally drinking their own urine. What comes in between the me talking about it, the excitement of buying, and actually closing the sale, right? Because at the end of the day, if you can't collect the money, everything you did before that, you could say it was an exercise in learning, but really it was more than likely an exercise in futility. If we can't collect people's money and service them, we can't close the deal. If we can't close the deal, they don't get their products. If they don't get their products, they don't become a consumer, and we don't have a consumer then to eventually help become a member over time. And duplication never happens. There's a lot of things. Primarily, you have to ask for their money, right? Cold hard cash, hook it up, give me your cash. That's hard for most people to do. You're gonna have to ask, you gotta fill out your form, and your form requires to have their ID information, right? Well, okay, now you're asking for money and their ID and their home address and their bank account information and their credit card and who knows what. Maybe you're even asking for a passcode on their phone. I don't know, but to them, it feels overwhelming. You're afraid to ask because it's awkward, and they are afraid you're asking because they don't know if you're involved in some nefarious business that will end up stealing their identity, or worse yet, their fortune and hard-earned cash. They love the bottle. They love the product. They love that I can literally take urine and turn it into water. They just don't know if they can trust us. And that's, with all due respect, in 2017, that's across the board, whether it's people you know or perfect strangers. It's pretty rare that they're willing to give that much information. So to address this and to solve that problem, to help you ask for the money fearlessly, I'm excited to talk about smart links, because it allows you to send a link where at the push of the button, now they're directly connected into a personally tailored order that is like going through Amazon.com, and all they do is input the information through a secure server that's totally third party, that's not you asking for it. It's a company that they can go and sue if there's ever a problem, and they can put the information, close the order, and you never asked for any of those things in the barrier. So let's walk through how to make a smart link, and this is where I want you to pull out your phones. If you have them with you, pull them out, and let's do this together. You're going to go to your back office. Now, these screenshots are the desktop version, but the mobile is virtually the same. So go to your X office, input your information, and you're going to see an icon right there in the middle that has a little link, a little chain. Kind of looks like a light bulb, right? That's the Smart Link logo. Click on that link. When you do that, it's going to show up, show this page as you can see it. Click on Create a New Smart Link. Really easy. You're going to choose a link type, okay? I'm going to start with this example with an enrollment. So I'm going to click on enrollment. In the UK, we all know that everything is 200 pounds for the first order, so I chose a Slenderized starter kit. You can name this whatever you want. I chose the name Slenderized Starter. You choose your country, and you click on Next. Now, because this is an enrollment, I can do one of two things. I can pre-input all of the information. If I know who I'm targeting, and I know what I want to sell them, I can do all of the preparatory work up front, their name, their phone, their address, whatever information I have, including their placement information. I can go input that right there, right here, so that when they get the link, it's already been set up for them. Let me give you a hint where that makes a lot of sense. If you're going to talk to somebody that you want to show respect for, and you want the deal to go in a very good way, take the 2 minutes, 3 minutes to input their information. It shows that you care. It shows them that they are important to you. However, there's also going to be a lot of times where you need to be able to act quickly in the spur of the moment. And for those, you're going to do what I'm doing, which is input nothing, because I want a blank slate that I can send to anybody that they can input their own information and click on a few clicks and actually close that. So I'm going to leave this completely blank. I have a pack that I'm setting up. It's an enrollment pack. I don't input the placement information. I don't do any of that because I will later get that from them and instruct them once they've opened up the link, okay? So I'm leaving this blank, but you could see I could, if I had it, input all this information. I scroll to the bottom and I click on next. Now I'm going to choose my products. I click on packs and you can see I chose the weight loss member pack. It's 200 points. It's great. It has some good product content in there. I'm going to click on review content. It shows me what I have. It shows the dollar amount, the currency amount, as well as the point content. And I click on generate link, and it's that easy. I'm done. Literally, this took me 30 seconds to do. The longest, the process that took the longest was setting up the actual screenshot that you're looking at now. It takes 30 seconds to set this up. I know what I want, and I've got this link. Now, I can copy the URL, and I can email it to somebody, or I can go and input their email right there, click on send, and they'll get a nice little note. Now, I prefer to use Facebook or WhatsApp or WeChat or Instagram or something a little more personalized if I know the person, right? But let me give you a couple of tips you can consider. What can you do with the link once you have it? Well, know what the link does first. When you click on that link, it will open up the order. And because I inputted nothing, I'll walk them through and say, okay, you'll put in your information, your name, here's the placement information, right? And I can do all of that and walk them through it. Now remember, generally speaking, I want a blank link when I'm pitching somebody spur of the moment. Use them with them so I can actually walk them through that process. But the value of them doing it on their own is twofold. Number one, they feel secure. It's not me asking for their information, it's the company, right? The company's through a secured server, that makes them feel good. But number two, you're also setting up their expectations. It's so easy, and they're doing it, that they automatically buy into, you know what, if I ever decided to do this business down the road, this is something that I could do as well. It was easy for me before I enrolled. It'll be easy for my customers after I've enrolled. So you have the link. Feel free to share it however you want. Something you may want to do is just put this on your Facebook, right? A lot of people can take the link, they just put it underneath a caption. So I show the video of me drinking my urine, and I give a little pitch that says, look at this, it's amazing, the bottle works, or I just lost 15 pounds. Click on this link to learn more or to buy now. They click on it and it goes to close. It's that easy. Something else that you may want to consider, especially for people who use WeChat, right? Go to any number of online free QR code generators. I like R-Code Monkey. It's completely free, and you can put little pictures in. Basically, you're going to paste your link into this top line, and then you can upload an image. In this case, because it's Slenderized that I set up on the pack, I put the little picture of the day and night drops in there. Click on create your QR code, and bam, I have now a picture that I can use, and I can put that anywhere I want. I can send that through a chat, I can send that wherever, and when they scan that through WeChat or what other tool they plan on scanning it with, it will actually go directly to the close page. It goes out to the checkout page, right? Now you can manage your smart links and access them at any time. You can delete them, copy them, resend them, whatever you want to do under Manage Smart Links. So if you go back to your X Office, click on Smart Links, that'll go to Manage Smart Links, and you can see I have any number of different packs that I've saved. The name was stored by me. They're all saved there. When I click on Slenderized Starter, it's still there just like it was before. There's the link I can copy again, and you can see the information about the pack below. Guys, it is so, so easy. And now you can share that amazing video with a link for people who are interested to go and buy directly. Rather than having to, instant message you, they can go and click on it, see the price, buy it themselves. It almost feels as though you're just referring them to go to an eBay or an Amazon or any other site that they would just go buy from. This, I believe, makes retailing actually possible. because there's no longer the barrier of having to ask for all of that scary information and them risking, are you a trustworthy person? Now it's just, oh, here's this website, go buy it from them. You don't even have to tell them you benefit from it, right? How many people go and buy makeup, skincare, eyelashes, you name it, from any number of websites, not even knowing that the person who referred them did or didn't gain anything from it, right? It's magically dispelled because there's no additional information required. They click on it, they put in their information, they buy it, and it's done. So, guys, that's the Smart Links. I promise you, this is going to make your business so much easier if you will allow it. So please, I want to challenge each of you today. Go and spend some time. Make a few links. Look at the packs that you're always referring to people. The weight loss packs, the water packs, whatever it is that you're passionate about, that you sell and share the most. Do yourself a favor. Take the 5 or 10 minutes. Set up the link so that you have it whenever you need it, because you won't know when that opportunity strikes. And you'll be prepared. And when you're prepared, literally be, oh, yeah, the water bottle, great. Can I text you something? Can I send you a WhatsApp? Can I be a Facebook friend? And in the period of sending a message, they click on that link and bam, you can close immediately. And the value of that, I promise you, I believe this will replace how we do enrollments. This will replace how we close customers. I believe the Smart Links is the easiest way, because 9 out of 10 times you're helping the person enroll anyways. Why go through the hassle of you asking for their information when you can have them input it, right, on their own so they feel safe? If it's someone you already know and you respect, you set up a personalized link that already has as much information as you already have on hand, and that shows them that you care and that this is their link. This is their order that you've set up for them. There's value in that, guys. So take note, use these tools, and I promise you this will make your business all the easier. I thank you guys so much for your time. Have a lovely day. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great one. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.